through glass, and welcome back to the 360. I feel like I've hardly driven this car since I took it down to Monaco back in April. God, that was a long time ago. Life has just been a little bit too frantic, and I just haven't had a chance to spend any decent time with this thing, but it feels so good to be back in it now. I have missed it, and no, I have not missed driving it around London though. This place is a nightmare. Anyway, you may notice that the tube exhaust system is still on this car. Because I've been so busy, I haven't had a chance to take it down to AV Engineering and get the stock system put back on. But one thing I have been able to do is arrange to have this steering wheel, this manky steering wheel, finally re-trimmed. So this steering wheel will be going black leather at the end of July. So for the summer, oh, that was a much tighter gap than I realised. I'm not having another Alcantara steering wheel because there's no other Alcantara in this car, and I'm pretty sure Alcantara steering wheels weren't offered from factory for the 360, so black leather it will go. Today, I'm actually kind of like rehoming the 360. I'm moving it to a new private garage. I keep the car sort of locked up in a secure underground spot, and viewers or listeners of the Behind the Glass podcast will know that recently I did an episode with Tim Earnshaw, who runs what I now believe to be the best car storage place in London, if not the world. It's an amazing back cave of incredible cars and people who sort of obsess over keeping them clean and working well and guarded and everything. So I'm moving the car there. After doing that episode, I was like, yeah, I have to relocate my car here. So that's what's happening. We're going to head to Windrush. I will show you around a little bit more, talk a bit more about what they do, and then be leaving this car there with them, probably until I'm taking it to get this wheel retrimmed. Ah! Why am I never here? Why can I never drive this car? I just want to put it in my pocket and take it with me everywhere. Anyway, to Windrush. So here we go, Windrush. If you guys missed the episode, as I mentioned before, on Behind the Glass, go check it out because this place is fascinating but also amazing, and this is where my car is now going to be living. And it's not just because they have a Challenge Stradale down here that I picked this place, but yes, they decided to bring out all the Italians today, and can you see that in the background? That is a stunning tailor-made F12 TDF. That just gives you a taste of the kind of stuff that is down here, but the majority of things are kept undercover under these sort of very nice plush Windrush covers, which is what my car is going to be sleeping under as well. But the best thing about this place is that not only is it super secure, and I know the car is sort of well guarded, but they really take care of it. You know, the busier and busier I seem to be getting, the less and less I'm driving my 360, which saddens me to the core. But at least I know that by leaving it here, it's in good hands, and these guys care about it almost as much as I do. So they wash it if it needs to be washed, they prep it before you come in to collect it, it's on trickle charge, all these different things. So win, 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 bonus, bonus, bonus. Lovely 360. I shall see you soon. I'm sorry to depart, but you are now in good hands. And as I say, hopefully end of July, when the steering wheel's getting retrimmed and a few more bits are going on with the car, it'll be out and about, and I'll make plenty of content. For now, I need to go back and pick up the Cayman, because lots to tell you on that.
Just a little bit.
Okie doke, here we go, now inside my 718 Cayman S. This car is forever dirty. I don't know what it is about this green wrap, but it picks up muck and grime quicker than anything else I've ever known. So I'm endlessly in car washes in this thing. But anyway, before we get into the 355 Ferrari. Winner, winner. Before we get into the nitty-gritty update on the 718, a couple of things I wanted to mention. First off, I just wanted to clear up, because the 360 is in storage, that doesn't mean it's not forever accessible. I can pick it up, come and go whenever I like, and in fact the guys at Windrush just said that they could even deliver the car to me if I ever really need them to. So yes, don't let the name mislead you. It's a very nice 570 GT here too. Why is it turning into a spotting vlog? All the whips are out in the sunshine. But yes, don't let the name mislead you. It's essentially just a very fancy car parking space, somewhere a bit more secure than on the street or outside my house. The second thing to mention, which is probably quite a big thing to mention, next week there's a new car coming to the channel. It's not a replacement to the 360. It's not a replacement to this car. It's a third seen-through glass car. Now, calling it new is probably a stretch of the imagination, but that's all the information I'm giving you for now. I'm going very YouTube clickbait. You're going to have to stay tuned. But I think it's fun. I'm super excited and got some cool things planned, even from next week. So I think the first video with that car will be going out Monday next week. Yeah, that's probably about right. So let's get into it, the 718. So even though this new car isn't going to replace this Cayman, it has got me thinking, when will I replace the Porsche? Because Porsche, I mean, a year later, still don't know how to pronounce the name of my own car. But yes, it has been a year, and in my mind, the 360 is going nowhere. That uses the S1 MDF number plate that I've had since I was 17. However, the secondary car, this car that's on 0010 STG, STG, I always see as like my personal car. My business car. That was confusing. 360 is the personal car. This I see as my business car. And I always planned on swapping the business car over every 9 to 12 months. Apologies, Magnitude Finance, because I know I signed a 3-year finance agreement on this car and I'm now talking about changing it every 9 to 12 months, but I'm sure you'll be very happy to sort the deal for whatever replaces it. But yes, I just think, you guys know how useful an asset is for us buying new cars. It's a whole new storyline. Hopefully we can provide useful information to you guys, document that whole new buyer process. Also, it's just exciting, isn't it? Like, how much fun to be able to change cars. However, I don't know how I could replace this thing. In fact, Tony and I did a whole podcast talking about replacing the 718, and my argument was, I don't think you can. Is there anything better? At the £60,000 price point, I'm not sure there's a sports car which does all the things this can. I mean, it's made me fall in love with the Porsche brand that much just because of how good it is. I've taken it down to Barcelona, took it across Paris. I use it day in, day out like this, just boring driving around London in traffic. That's why I don't film with it that much, because what I'm doing with it is never that interesting. A lot of you asked for a garage update video, hence why I'm filming this right now. It's not that exhilarating, it's a lot of information, and that kind of sums up this car quite well. It's brilliant, but it's not that exhilarating. So I'm in this kind of like catch-22 where I'm like, from a business point of view, it makes sense to look to change this car come September. But from a personal point of view, I'm like, well, do I really need to? Do I really want to? What else would I get? I have heard the rumours of the upcoming Cayman GT4, and that would be a very logical replacement for this, because I love the brand, I love the car. The GT4 is surely going to be amazing. However, this is my first Porsche, and I think I'm kidding myself if I think I'm going to get a slot on a GT4. So let's be a bit more realistic. I'd love an Alpine A110, but they haven't been delivered to any customers anywhere yet. I would like to get a 911, maybe like a GTS, but that's going up 25 or 30k in the price bracket. So it's very, very, well, tough is a horrible thing to say. It's very much a first world problem. The only other thing I'll mention, and this is being even more vague and mysterious than my new car that's coming next week, is that next year there's some fairly major plans taking shape that will change what I'm looking for in this sort of secondary car, this kind of business car. Because at the moment, I really enjoy having it as something sporty. I don't really want a hatchback, I don't really want, an estate, a saloon. I like having a little sporty two-door as my secondary car, because those are the cars that I like. But the major plans for next year would change that quite considerably. So that's why I'm a bit hesitant to sort of commit to anything that major. Anyway, I'd love to hear from you guys. Apologies if this is repetitive for any of you that listen to the podcast and made suggestions in the podcast. That was a few months or so ago now, and my brain and things and stuff has changed. So let me know, what would you replace the 718 Cayman with? The Cayman S with, don't forget. You still need a bit of speed and a bit of power. Right below. And give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. As I say, very much an admin midweek video, just going around doing bits and bobs, but as I say, lots of you have asked for it, and I wanted to update you on the cars, considering that neither had really appeared on the channel for a while, which is such a shame. Anyway, make sure you stay subscribed. New car coming next week. 360 in the Cayman, going nowhere for the right now. No, 360 staying. Anyway, catch up soon. Bye.